There you go. How you doing? My name is Danny Colville. I'm here at Colville Outfitters and Custom Tackle in Hamburg, New York, right on the shores of Lake Erie. I'm here today to tell you about the Paragon 485 made right here in Buffalo, New York by me. I want to just go over the history with you and everything like that. When I was making the Paragon reel, I wanted to bring all the features of all the other reels that I liked into one and improve on some of those things that weren't currently on the market. The two reels that I really liked were the G Loomis Tournament Drifter and the Islander Steelheader. Both made in Canada, both been around forever, tried and true. The thing I liked about the Islander was I liked the rim shape, which was nice and round. I liked the handle shape. I liked the spool depth. And I also liked the clicker design, the slide knob back and forth. The thing I didn't like about the Islander was the very light clicker, not a lot there. I also didn't like that it didn't have a ported spool, and although there's a lot of surface area on the rim here, my hand would slip a lot when it was wet or when I had fish slime on my hands. The thing also that I wanted to improve on was the feel of the reel. It spins great, it's got good startup, but I can't feel the reel spinning in my hand. It just feels like just too smooth. It doesn't matter if it's this fast or this fast, it all feels the same. Now with the Loomis Tournament Drifter, this was always a great reel. They call this reel the Tank. All the porting is all non-chamfered, meaning that they're not smoothed out around the cutouts of the holes, making it kind of dangerous when the reel gets spinning fast to get any sort of fingers in the way. I've had quite a few chunks taken out of my fingers in the past. But the thing I do love about this reel was the overall feel of how it feels when it's spinning. So if you notice, you can hear a humming noise when the reel's spinning, and what that is it's a vibration that's caused from the bearings inside of the hub, which allows you to feel the reel as it's spinning. You could feel the exact speed of it, making you have a better attachment to your drifts, kind of feeling what's going on with your float trotting downstream. So what did I do? I basically took the feel of this reel, a lot of the features of this reel, made it a little bigger, and introduced the Paragon 485, which is right here. As you can see, the startup of this reel is just incredible. Barely any sort of pull of your line is going to get this reel just cooking really good. The other feature of this reel that's kind of special that these other two don't have is a center cap here with 4 screws rather than just one. What ends up happening with reels that have a center screw like this or like this is as the reel's spinning and there's vibration created, the center screw will tend to work its way out sometimes and eventually fall into the river, causing, you know, your day of fishing to end. So I took 4 screws there. It's a little bit better to support. It's called a bearing cap. The other thing too was a lot of the reels nowadays made in China and Korea seem like they're using cast aluminum. Now cast aluminum obviously isn't as strong as normal bar stock billet. I use 6061 aluminum for my reels. It seems to machine a little nicer, color a little better, but I want to kind of show you why not to use cast. If you see here, this reel actually split apart right at the spool and on the inside of the spool just from pressure with the spool during somebody fighting a salmon. First time out with the reel and it splits apart right there. That isn't a very good thing. So that's why all these, it's good to spend the money on the reel. So the other thing I did, like I was talking about with the Islander, is I like the rim shape. The rim on the Islander is really nice and rounded, a lot of surface area, so that's what I implemented. Same sort of rounded, lots of surface area rim, but what I did was I added a nice texture. Now the texture is smooth to touch, but when it gets wet or there's fish slime on it, your hand will stick to it real nice. So when you're retrieving the reel, when you're batting it in, it really feels sticky on your hand, but it won't burn your finger up like a knurled rim like on the older Stantons. So currently I'm the only reel producer that's making a reel with a textured rim. The other thing about this reel that I really like that these other two don't have is a ported spool. And now this isn't just for looks or for show. This is actually so when your line gets wet, the backing will dry, and it will stop that mildew smell that you get on your line after a couple years of use. So ported spool here. The other thing too is, as you see on this reel, these handles come to a point. Now that's great if you're a side caster and you're casting off the side where the line is coming off here, because it will not catch on the handles. With a tapered handle like this, it will actually fall right off. Most of the fishermen who are investing in a little bit better of a reel, more expensive reel, they typically will know how to BC cast or Wallace cast. So when I did my reel, the couple features I offered were more for that experienced fisherman. Again, the handles that come to a point are nice for side casting. However, they dig into your fingers and your hand wants to slip off when reeling them. So I love this reel. This is actually a Mike Hiss made in Michigan by Keith Snarry. Beautiful reel. Don't like the handles though. Besides that, it's a great reel. It's a classic. So what did I do with the handles? I offer a couple different designs. I have my straight handle just like this. It's not too long, not too short, fits your fingers real well. I also have this tapered design here that kind of flares out and up. They also come in a couple different things. You got your brass, which is going to add overall weight to the reel. You have your wood, and they also come in acrylic as well. Along with the handles, I also can customize center caps. Same thing, different metals, different types of wood, different acrylics. It's really going to give your reel the customization that you can't get with any other reel. The other specialty thing that my reel offers is that feel that we were talking about with the Loomis Tournament Drifter. So when you spin the reel, you could feel everything it's doing. I call this feeling the flow. You're feeling the flow of the water that's pulling your float. You could tell the exact speed that your reel is spinning just by the feel in your hand. Now, as a result of this, you get this really sweet purr. As you could hear, the reel really purrs. Spins real nice. Phenomenal startup. Just outstanding. It also comes in a variety of different finishes. You could get matte finish, you could get glossy finish, and you could get different colors. This is the Kalama Aqua color. There's also, here I have the Oregon Sage. This is powder gray. This is the powder gray. And on all the grays and blacks, those are actually a true Type 3 hard coat. The true Type 3 hard coat gives you an advantage because it penetrates the aluminum a thousandths, and it also builds up a thousandths on top of the aluminum. Whereas any of the colors, like the Kalama Aqua or my Granddaddy Perps or any of the other colors I offer, they're all going to just build up on the surface, meaning if you scratch it, you're going to see silver. Now that I have them build up as much finish as possible on these reels. However, it's still not as strong as your Type 3 hard coat, which I said comes in black and gray. Really, really strong stuff. Let's see, the bearings that we use is ABAC 7s. And they are all ceramic balls, and they're stainless steel shield, which is going to even give you more of that feel when the reel is spinning. You could really feel everything in your hand. There is the other really, really cool feature about this reel that no other reels have is an adjustable clicker. Like the Islander and like the Statins and all the reels before this, there was always a slide knob that just goes back and forth in a U shape. All you're doing is you're just sliding it in a U. It's like a heart shaped. Now, inside the reel here, there's a little island with 2 screws pinching a piece of spring steel down. All you do if you want the clicker stronger is you unscrew the 2 screws, you push the spring steel against the little triangle into the teeth until you get the desired amount of strength you want there, and whatever tension you want. So again, you slide that little knob over, and you can get a really nice strong clicker, and you can get it to whatever tension you want. Again, like I said, I could also adjust the weight of the reel by adding different brass components. The more brass components, the heavier the reel I can get. I've made reels that are 9 ounces and I've made reels that are 12 ounces. And that's all by just adding brass components. The heavier you make the spool, like this spool here has brass handles, the easier it's going to be to reel in big heavy floats, because you spin the reel and you retrieve in, and that's going to give you more pickup of your float. You're using less energy to reel it in because you have the weight of the actual handles helping you with that. Like I said, these reels are all made in Western New York. They have a lifetime warranty, and there'll be many other cool reels in the future to come. I'm coming out with the Poseidon 500, which will be coming out in fall 2015, so keep your eye open for that. Thanks so much for watching the video, and I look forward to seeing you soon.